Everything in this realm has to do with or is polarized. There is negative, positive, north, south, good, bad, that whole thing. And when you are stuck in the victim consciousness of it all, and most victims are not even aware that they're stuck there, they're so unconscious. That is pretty much really the best way to describe the victim in a nutshell. It's an unconscious person. They're not conscious, they're not present, they're not seeing what is happening around them, what's happening in front of them, what's being done with their energy, how that energy is being used. And most victims are not in control of that. Rather, they're feeding it into some storyline, some narrative that really has them remain a victim. Um, but what I really want to land here in reference to the polarity of things is for the victim to come out of that shadow, only being in the shadow aspects of the victim. They have to access the other side of that energy, the polar opposite of that energy. So if you're sitting in the wounded space, that means that those emotions that you are harboring, those negative emotions that you're only seeing, or you're still seeing predominantly the negative side of it. You have not gleaned the positive, the wisdom aspect of it, the gifts, the lessons, the blessings, because it is all the chaos is all unfolding in a very beautiful way. A very, very beautiful way. And you're contributing to this process. Although unconscious, you were still contributing, or you are still contributing to this concept, this process. So it is up to you as that victim, or that person who is wanting to evolve, wanting to heal themselves, wanting to tap into self mastery, evolve yourself, to really access the other side of those emotions. So, if you're sitting in that pain, that wound, the hurt, the pain of it all, access joy. That's where you're going to be able to neutralize that pain by accessing the polar opposite. And when that pain is balanced by the joy, which is its opposite, then it almost is as if it opens you up to a whole nother level of existence. You know what I'm saying? Like the filters, the barriers, the limitations, the structural, the constructs of that reality, or that belief system, and what it all manifested as into form. It all starts to take on a different shape and morph into something else, because you're no longer holding on to that negative charge. It's been neutralized. Um, yeah, so that process is really about looking at yourself, becoming conscious of certain things. The way I do it is really, there's always some aspect of me that I am evolving, that I'm looking at, that I'm, working on. And in working on one thing, it opens up so many other things. And it kind of guides me to where I need to go next. And I just kind of allow that to unfold. but you got to access the polar opposite. If you want to neutralize emotional energy or emotional pain, and that emotional pain is coming from that, that victim, a lot of times, well, in this codependent paradigm, it's coming from the victim standpoint. So you have to figure out what is the joy in the situation, what was the joy in it, what is the joy going to be for you now. And sometimes that joy is just acknowledging that it's not yours. You know what I mean? Sometimes that joy is acknowledging that, look, a fucked up thing happened, but because this fucked up thing happened, then it opened up this opportunity for me. It helped me to be able to see things in this way. And because I was able to see things from that perspective, this is how it benefited me in the long run. Sometimes the joy in it isn't in the actual act, or that thing. Like when you have positive emotions tied to particular things, they're still triggers, but it's a positive thing, and you enjoy and embrace those memories, those moments. um it's the same thing with the negative. And shit, I'm babbling, I'm pretty sure. But anyway, access the polar opposite to come out of the victim standpoint. And what happens is, as you become more and more conscious, and it happens in layers and levels, it happens in waves, it does not happen all at once. It just, if you have a miracle situation where that happens, that's fine. That has not been my experience. In my experience, the process of healing myself, healing the victim, for me, has happened over time and in over experiences. As I look at these aspects of myself, the reflections of it show up in my reality. The people that I am relating to show up to give me the message, or to help me to see it. And that's also because I'm looking for it. And, whatever I need to help me to recognize what that part is, it shows up. And I respond in kind. And it then gives me the mirror image that's needed for me to make the appropriate adjustment. It's that simple.